Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, ready for the GT3 World Championship here at the eSeniors. My name is Juan Antonio Mena Jimenez, and as you can see, we got the webcams ready, and we got our man on the top, Mr. Jonathan Wood. Mr. Wood, how are you doing?
I am doing great. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in San Diego, and I am looking forward to this race after that amazing race we had yesterday and the brilliant racing all week, right?
Definitely, the races we've had so far have been nothing but amazing. And let me tell you, the Group 2 is the spices of them all. So we're going to check that in just a few moments. But as you can see, we have changed the format of the intros. We've changed the format of everything. You can see a different layout. Please let me know if you can hear Mr. Wood correctly. If everything is sounding good, if the video is all right, please let us know that, and we can move forward. But as you see on screen, we have the schedule. And of course, we're in round 11. We're closing things up, Mr. Wood. We're getting ready to have an ending here on the GT3 season for the Group 2. And I think we should take a look at the standings because they are very, very interesting. So let's just do so, Mr. Wood. Tell me, what do you think about these standings?
Well, I think that, look, Mark is on top here, right? And he's got a bit of a lead going here. What is he at? 355 points to 354 for Mark Christopher, who is actually not going to be racing today. And then on 341, you have Terry Trowbridge, which he's always going to be challenging for that top three in the races. So, once again here, top three guys. Unfortunately, no Mark Christopher, but then we have Jeremy in fourth on 3. What is it? I can't see. It's 339. And then Lee Ellis on 335. And then as we go down, we've got Kai Schaefer, Melvin Garland, Rainer Berger, who unfortunately again is going to be here today. Ollie on 299. So we've got like a spread for the top 10 of about 50 odd points. And as you saw there, we've got, 5 races left. We're kind of mirroring almost Formula One, where, we've got a really, really close battle for the title. I mean, you couldn't really get much closer here, though. I mean, you got 1 point between the first and second.
Definitely, that's what you're saying. Keep in mind, as we say, always, they have drop-off weeks that they can take off for counting into the championship, but 1 point between Mr. Pocock and Christopher. And let me tell you, as you said, Mr. Christopher's not going to be here tonight with us, so that's going to spice things up. Because, yes, Mr. Christopher can take this race away on the drop-offs, but now he needs to push that button and go all in to get some good results and secure himself the championship. So I agree with everything you say. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about this. Look at what we have below us, which should be on the top of it all, and it is on the top of the UK cleaning system, because there you have PWS cleaning equipment. There you have the website preciouswashers.co.uk. You can check their websites. We're gonna bring you some video packages next week, so you can see the products, and of course you can buy from them because they are our main sponsors. So big thank you to PWS for doing this for the eSeniors. And Mr. Wood, I think I hear the engine's ready. I think we're going into qualifying. So shall we?
Yes, sir. Yeah, qualifying has started. We got 19 minutes and 20 seconds left on the board. This is going to be exciting. Let's see who can get into the 142s. I think that is the zone that the top guys are definitely going to be aiming for. So yeah, it's exciting stuff, man.
Definitely, man. It's a pleasure to have you here with me as always. Another week. Man, I don't want you to drive anymore. I want you to stay with me forever. It's magical, the chemistry. Welcome everyone into the stream. There we have Terry Trowbridge, Mr. Wood, of course. Look, the Doy. We saw him before on Discord. Stefan, of course, won an amazing race we had yesterday on the Group 3. He was one of the main characters in that big story that is going to conclude in none other than 5 weeks to see who's going to take that championship. Reese, of course, it's lovely to see you here. My man, Frank Tennant, and of course, Team AV Racing. Welcome to every single one of you. And now that we are with the current champion, Mr. Wood, I would like you to give us a little bit of a track walk.
Yeah, well, let me just get into the... Who are we following here?
Mr. Pocock himself.
Mr. Pocock. So, hold on. I'm having a few little technical errors here, so...
Let's see if you can fix them. And thank you very much, Chris. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's okay. So here we are with Mark. He's coming across the finish line, or the start line right now, as he's barreling down to the first corner, which is, of course, the very, very famous Tamburello, which has been completely, of course, emasculated since 1994. We go through Tamburello on the left-hand side, we go past the Senna Memorial, and we hammer down towards the Villeneuve Bend, which is, of course, named after the great Gilles Villeneuve. He crashed here very spectacularly. I believe it was in 1980. Now heading down to that Tosa hairpin. So all the way down into first gear, you've got to get a really good exit here, get off of those curbs, and then barreling all the way up the hill to the Piratello, which is that third or fourth gear left-hander. We saw Michael Schumacher crash here in qualifying for the, when was that race? No, it was actually in the race for the 1995 race. And our great Damon Hill won that race. And as he comes down here into the Acqua Minerale, another very, very famous corner, saw Riccardo Patrese destroy his car at the end of that race, and he would have won that one, but that was 1982. We come up to the Variante Alta. I do love these names of these corners. They just roll off your tongue. And that Variante Alta, you know, trying to get that right even two laps in a row is very, very difficult. Looks like he got a good run through there. And we go downhill to the left-hand Rivazza. This is a little off-camber. It drags you out to the right, and then the second Rivazza corner, and he takes the curb on the inside as you want to do. Get that power down real early, and then it's a straight run, kind of straight at least, down to the finish line. And what do we have? His first lap of 43.5, but you know what, Juan? This track with these cars, your first lap is not going to be anywhere near as fast as your second and third. So it takes 2 or 3 laps for everything to fully warm up. I mean, yeah, it's not going to take long to get those PSIs up, but when it comes to the temperatures of the tires, it's going to take 2 or 3 laps.
Definitely, my friend, and that was a beautiful track walk from you, Mr. Wood. That was lovely. As we welcome more people into the chat, we have Chris Bourne. Thank you very much for that. I am doing finally okay. I'm COVID-free. Thank the Lord. You know, I'm the Jesus Christ Almighty guy, so there you have it. Welcome, Nikos and the Bird. It's a pleasure to have you all here with us. We are already 10 people on the stream, so of course, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to give a like to the stream. Share the link with all your friends, your relatives, because we're gonna have a fun one here. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because that's gonna help us massively as we go with Jeremy Arrobas, who's gonna finish off his lap. There you have him going through Rivazza 2, and he's gonna set a lap time. We will see what it's going to be. But wow, that was beautiful from you, Mr. Wood, and what an amazing track that we are full of history. And that was very nice of you that you gave us really good tips on those. As we see, Trowbridge is going to get a 43.6. Do you think we're going to break the 42 barrier tonight?
Well, we'll break into the 42 barrier. I don't think we'll break into the 41s. But we saw in pre-qualifying a couple of drivers break into the 42. So we saw Mark Pocock. We saw Ollie way down there in Australia. He broke into the 42s. So I think those two guys are going to be right at the very front. The question is where everyone else is going to be and how spread out the field indeed will be.
Definitely, as we see, Schaffer's going to get himself out of the way. He got P2, only 33 thousandths off a second between himself and Mark Pocock, who has taken a provisional pole with a 43.218. Beautiful lap. Terry Howard is going to get on that last place on the podium, at least virtually. And look at Ole Leonard. You were talking about him, and there you have the beast doing incredibly well. Let's see if someone can get into those 42s. We have seen it on pre-qualifying, as you've mentioned before. And I'm really looking forward for this race. 50 minutes of racing in here. What an amazing technical track that is going to demand every single bit of attention from every driver on the grid.
You know, we're seeing something interesting here, though. So, you know, I mentioned that it takes like 2 or 3 laps for everything to warm up. So Mark has done his lap, and he's come straight back into the pits, and he's sitting in the pits right now. And, you know, we've got other drivers who, you know, you really want to do 3 or 4 laps before, like, going back into the pits. So it's going to be interesting to see the outcome of everyone's strategy when it comes to this qualifying session, because we're almost half over.
You are right, sir. 12 minutes remaining as we see Melbourne Garden having a little bit of a hiccup at exit. Let's see what lap time is he going to be able to put. I think he's going to get into the 44s, no problem. Is that going to be so? It is. 44.1 is going to put him on P12. We're going to go now with another man that I'm really looking forward to see how he's going to perform. Mr. Vishal Venchaya. And just as I look at him, he's just going to go in the grass. He was improving by a full second, but unfortunately, he decided to abort, rethink it, and go back into the track in a few moments. So we're going to head with Richard Coulomb. There we have him, P14 at the moment, 45.7. The fastest lap for the man in question. Sorry, that is not the fastest lap. I don't know why. There we have it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. There we have it. That is the fastest lap, the 44.6 from Coulomb. And right now,
and I was mistaken. Actually, Mark was actually on the track. I was staring at somebody else sitting in the pit lane. Of course, all these cars sometimes they just look the same to me, especially when there are so many green cars. Isn't that right, Juan?
Wait, where do we have Mr. Green himself? Wait. Let me find him. Yeah. Trowbridge
is broken into the 42s. He's got a 42.996.
Very, very tight. 996. That's the tightest you can get. There you have someone who likes the color green. Robert Obando on screen. Lovely to see him with the tie-dye on the car. Beautiful. And of course, our man Frank Tennant with the green car as well. We're going to hop now with Mr. Lee Ellis, who has been doing a good lap so far. Half a second up. We're heading into Variante Alta. And now we're going to check the channel a little bit. Riding curbs the right way can make the difference. Absolutely, Mr. Nichols. You did fantastic yesterday. I saw you got a little nervous. But hey, you made it happen, my friend. That was beautiful. Buckley, I read what you said, but I cannot remember because I'm old. So I'm really sorry.
You're old. You're a third of the age of most of us.
Well,
okay,
I'm
kid.
screwed. I wish I felt like a kid, but I don't anymore. Lee Ellis is going to cross the finish line. What's it going to be? Ooh, 43 dead. Beautiful lap from the American. That was very nice. 45 thousandths of a second between Trowbridge and Ellis himself. There you have the difference in lap times. You can see it was a little bit of time lost on both the first and the third sector. We're going to go for a second on the timetable so you can check the fastest sectors so far. We have right now the first fastest sector is for Schaffer. The second one is for Mr. Robando himself. And then Terry Howard has done the third fastest. But of course, the man who has put the whole lap in was Trowbridge with a beautiful 42.996. And now we see, Mr. Wood, things are starting to settle up. Do you think someone else is going to be able to break the 42 barrier? Because it looks like Ellis is on a good point.
I do. I think Lee, Mark, Kai for sure, and even Robert Obando. He's shown some really good potential of that middle sector. He's purple in that middle sector, and of course Ollie, who we saw do a 42.8 earlier on in pre-qualifying. But hey, Juan, after last week, you were sick. So how are you feeling?
Thankfully, thank the Lord, I am feeling well again. So thank you very much to you and to everyone who supported me. I really appreciate that. Saw the post on Facebook that Mr. Wood himself created. I really appreciate all of the support you've given me. Thankfully, I'm fine. So beware and be ready, cause I'm here on full tank, baby.
Oh crap!
Oh, yo,
Firing on all
yo.
cylinders.
Oh, yo, yo. I have a V12 inside me. Robas is going to finish the lap time. Is going to be a 10th up, so that might imply a couple of positions, and that is going to be so. P5 for the administrator of the eSeniors. We're going to go now with Mr. Hemi Goddard, P11 for that Ferrari. Ferrari, I don't think it's the best car on this track. It doesn't perform that well because we know how dangerous it is to take a curve with this car, and even though you can still make it, obviously cars like the Bentley, the Aston Martin, even the Lexus are going to be favorable in this situation. Don't you think so, Mr. Wood?
Yeah, I don't think there's really a whole lot of difference between the cars for this track, other than how they ride over those sausage curbs, where there's some areas where you can, some cars you can, some that you can't. But I was actually experimenting with some cars earlier on in the week. Obviously, the Lambo, also the AMG Evo I played around with, and the Ferrari, and I was in like around the low 43s in all of the cars with no issues, and that was on like pretty much default setup. Add a little bit of wing, add some tire pressures, but very, very similar. So it's all down to the driver. It really is with this track. It's a driver's track, absolutely for sure. You either love it or you hate it.
Yeah.
If you're fast, you love it. If you're slow, you hate it.
I cannot say it any better than that. I do think there's a little bit of difference, but of course, you are a goddamn alien. So it doesn't matter what car you take, you're going to be fast. And
I'm an
saw it
illegal
on
alien. That's what I am.
You might be illegal, but Jesus Christ almighty, you're fast. And we saw it on the pre-qualifying because you actually decided to go for a couple of laps. And you were actually P2 for a moment, as we see PJ Vidala going a little too wide on that corner here in Aqua Minerale. He has lost the time gain, and I think that might be an invalidated lap, but we're going to jump now with Mr. Kai Schaffer. Because look at that beautiful livery, and look at that amazing driver, Mr. Schaffer, right now. 0.3 of a second faster. So he would have provisional pole if he can make it till the end. No Lambos on track, so sad. Yes, there are no Lamborghinis on the track. Hello, Andreas. It's lovely to see you here, my friend. Thank you very much for coming here. And again, if you want to help us out, share the link with your family, your friends. Get the people ready. Get the people going. Oh, shoot. I forgot to post it. I am really sorry.
It looks like Terry Trowbridge is on a quicker lap. He just went through the Aqua Minerale. He's a quarter of a second up, coming up to the top of the track, and he's going to try to jump over those little sausage curbs. He takes the inside, takes the outside one.
Wow.
He's lost some time there, though. Did lose some time. He's still a little bit up on his fastest time. Let's see how he goes down into Rivazza. Brakes late and turns in. He's on the curb. It pulled him out a little bit. So, yeah, he understeered off there. So he lost the time, unfortunately.
Yeah, that doesn't
just goes to show how easy it is to lose time here.
That doesn't look like he's going to be able to pull it back on the last Rivazza corner. So we're going to go with our man, Ollie Lindener, the Aussie, doing great. P10, 43.6. His fastest lap time. I have posted the link on Discord as well, so you can join. Of course, I understand we're not going to have as much people as I thought we would. Because if I'm not mistaken, the F1 is live at the moment. But hey, let's be honest, Johnny. Who wants to see F1 when you have Jonathan Wood, Juan Antonio Mena, and of course, the protagonist of this incredible story, the Group 2 drivers here at one of the hardest tracks on the calendar, Imola. Screw the F1.
Hey. I never thought I'd say it, but this is actually, for me, this is actually more exciting. And, I've been watching F1. I've been watching F1 since, like, the mid-'80s. And I'm a true freaking anorak. But you know what? I'd rather be doing this right now. I can watch the F1 once this is over. No problem. I've got that F1 app, of course. But like yesterday, I was way more interested in commentating on the Group 3 race than watching the qualifying. And then, you know what? When I did watch the qualifying, it was a yawn fest. I actually did fall asleep for like 20 minutes. So there you go.
No wonder. Multitask. I'm watching both. Okay. I see it. I see it, Mr. Bird. I like how you're working. Now put himself on P9. Obando's going to be behind him. We have 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining of this qualifying session. No one is improving on the track except, of course, I have to say it. Daniel Britos, la leyenda argentina. Mi amigo Britos, le mando un saludo aquí en español, como él lo quiera. Se lo mandamos aquí al Messi de la pista, al Maradona. 44.5 for Daniel Britos. No spoilers, Derek. Yeah, no spoilers, or I'm coming to your house.
Yeah, damn straight.
Times can always be beaten, Frank. Yes, sir, you can beat that. But hey, we will see. Because it looks like Mr. Tennant is not going to go for another round. Because he is still in the pit lane and he won't have time to do anything else. Nikos, the GOAT's DRS has been penalized. I'm not going to say it. You will have to... I'm not going to tell which kind of penalty, so you would have to watch that. But that was done in the morning by the FIA. But hey, as I said, screw the F1. We're here for the real action. You don't want to watch the F1 laying down in your sofa just like... You want to see the Group 2 saying like, holy S! What's happening here? And that's what we're getting ready for, Mr. Wood. Tell me, who do you think is going to take it? Do you think anyone's going to go at Trowbridge?
Well, you know, I'm actually kind of disappointed because, you know, I was expecting to see several guys higher up than they are, and it's just not happening. So yeah, you've got Terry Trowbridge, and you know that time that he posted of 42.9, it was one of his first. I think it was maybe his second or third lap, and he has not bettered it. Lee, you know, the same thing. You know, he's done one really good lap. Same with Mark. So you know, look, we've got what 0.3 of a second covering the top 6. So actually half a second covering like the top 10 almost. So I really do think that this race is going to be anyone's to win or lose, for that matter. So I do believe that this is going to be extraordinarily close. Of course, it's going to all rely also on the first turn. You know, the first turn yesterday, we saw the position swap in the top 4 at the first turn. So it wasn't just like one position, it was all 4 top positions did change, and we had some door-to-door contact as well. It was very exciting. We had somebody going off and coming back on, and like all kinds of stuff happening throughout the field. So for sure, I think for you and I and all the folks watching, it's going to be actually difficult to follow what's happening, because I'm really going to stick my neck out here and say, even though I don't want to see it, well, part of the naughty part of me does want to see it. But, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of offs. There's going to be a lot of crashing. You know, so fingers crossed, one way or another, we have an exciting race, right?
Let me tell you, that's what we're going to get, either one way or another, as you say. There we have everyone going into the pit lane and Scudder on the track, P7 for him. Let's see. Well, as just as I say, it's going on board is saying, screw the lap. We are going for the race session because the only man on track is Trowbridge right now. So we're going to go on him. There you have him. I guess he's taking this as a victory lap for qualifying. So congratulations for Trowbridge on that pole position. Beautiful lap. That 42.996, the only man to go into the 42s. And we're going to jump right into the race in just a few seconds. Let's have some fun tonight. Oh, you are damn right. So we're going to have a little bit of a discussion here, Mr. Wood. And I'm going to tell you why. Just for 1 second. We're gonna go here. You're gonna see us both. There you have it. Beautiful. Well, we've lost Wood. What happened here? There we go. We're back. We're back. We're back.
There I am.
I don't know what happened there. Nothing happened. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. The race is gonna get on going in just a few moments. They have 2 minutes and a half, and we're gonna check quickly before we head into the race itself. We're gonna check at the timetable to see where everyone ended up, because this is important indeed. So we are going to check that in just a second. But Mr. Wood, what do you think of the qualifying? As you said, a little disappointed, ain't you?
I'm a little bit disappointed simply because I don't think that anyone really showed their true form. Because for sure, like Ollie, who's in P9, he could have taken pole position based on what he did pre-qualifying. He could have taken pole position by like 0.2 of a second. So he's out of place. Having said that, the top 10 from Terry all the way to Robert Obando is, you know, half a second. It's literally a half a second. So that's half the field spread by only half a second. So this could be very, very close indeed. And we know that some of these guys are faster than they're showing. So the likelihood is that they're going to be able to move up, and we're going to get some very, very close racing.
Yeah, I have to completely agree with you, because let me tell you, it's going to be a fun one for sure. But it's also going to be very, very demanding for every single driver. There you're going to have the standings. I just posted them on the screen so you can all see them. There you have it. Different positions. And we're going to jump straight back to action, because the cars are getting ready and it's just a few seconds remaining. So we can give this a green flag. And you know, I've been waiting for a long time to do this without being sick. So I'm going to take it with pleasure, Mr. Wood. But there you have the grid. Who is taking the cake before we go into action? Who do you think is taking it?
Who's going to take it? You know, based on last week, I'll say Terry Trowbridge. But then, you know, it's anyone's race, this one, mate. It really is.
I have to agree. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go right into live. There we have it. Getting ready. 20 seconds remaining. Again, please let us know if you can hear everything all right, if the video is okay, if you can hear Mr. Wood as well as I can, because it's an absolute pleasure. I love starts. I love them as well. We're going to get a little bit of a TV2 cam, because the helicopter, as you can see, the chopper is not working very well so far. So here we go. Everyone
get in the chopper.
Get in the chopper. What a nice treat to be able to get a face up to you streamers. Thank you. You are very welcome. It's something we wanted to do. We're starting to make some improvements. And, wow, Jonathan, you live in a penthouse in Dubai? Nice view.
Oh, that. You're funny, Nikos.
Yeah.
I'm actually sitting in my garage. How about that? It's really, it's not very luxurious, I have to say.
Hey, it is good for what it is. It's lovely. Hold your thumbs. And be careful of not falling off the chair, because everything is going to go on their way in just a few seconds. Look at that. It's going to be Lee Ellis just side by side with Terry Trowbridge. And behind Howells and Pocock, it's going to be Trowbridge setting the pace. We're going to get that green flag in just a few seconds. As you see, all of them are going to cross the finish line. And then the green is coming after they go through the lights. 3 seconds remaining. Trowbridge setting the pace. You can see how slow Mr. Alex was taking the start, and Mr. Hub was going to take advantage of it. Look at that. That might be Mr. Schaffer taking advantage as well. No, it looks like at the end he's going to stay on the back for now. Everything is looking clean. All the positions kind of the same. Howells has taken P2 because Alice was being really, really patient.
We got one off.
On the start, we do have one off. That is Goddard, if I'm not mistaken. That was Goddard out. And you can see he's losing massively now. P17, he's going to have to make a great comeback drive, because he has 50 minutes of absolute suffering. As we're going to head back into the front because look at Kai Schaffer. He's trying to defend from Robert Obando. Obando might have a shot now on the inside. He's going to keep it safe. No need to risk it, but that's very weird. That's very wide. Sorry, from Mr. Schaffer. And that's Obando P6. Beautiful. We're going to go now on the front because it's Lee Ellis defending from Howard from behind. And Howell's in front, who has taken that position. Now in a very comfortable way. Terry Trowbridge now nearly 2 seconds of lead. This is perfect for Mr. Trowbridge, ain't it, Johnny?
Yeah, it is, and you know, everyone is being so very good, aren't they? I mean, we only had one person go off. That was Melvin. Robert Obando has gone up by 4 places. He's in P6, so he's definitely the guy who is currently on the move. But he is being challenged by Kai Schaffer, and but we've got a 1.4 second lead that Terry has. He's made an absolutely amazing start. Like no one got anywhere near close to challenging him into the first corner. So great start from Terry, and not so great from the guys behind him on P2 and on the second row.
Definitely, as you said, and Lee Ellis was taking it very safely, very slow on the start, and I think that's why. Well, that's the only reason he lost a P2. Let's see if the pace is good so he can make it back. But for now, we're already seeing gaps of nearly a second. Apart from this group, everyone is kind of separated from each other. We saw a very tight qualifying session. The top 10 were amongst the half of a second, which is absolutely amazing to see. But now it comes to the hard part, being consistent. And we've seen that is not easy in a track like this, as we see Mark Pocock now, who is catching up very well. Lee Ellis in front is maybe gonna have to fight very hard for that P3. How we're showing it now, so Pocock out, and look at him on the...
Yeah, Robert Obando took full advantage of Mark Pocock going off there, and you know we've got a nice little battle going on. And as you can see, actually all the way down there is like barely any like large gaps from the front all the way down to 21st position, which is where Parks is sitting. So you know we've got the potential of an amazing race, and yeah, wow. And you know Mark, he really did take some grass there, didn't he?
Yes, sir, as well as Vitala went into the wall. Unfortunately for him, he's going to be on the back of the grid. Now we're starting to see the pace. That is Trowbridge with a 44.6 as the fastest lap of the race so far. And as you say, everyone is keeping it very clean. I'm surprised. Let me tell you, I'm very surprised of what we're seeing here. Because you know I like me some action. And as we're talking on action, Jeremy Arrobas now has to defend from Melvin Garland, who is doing very well so far. Look at him. 2 positions up P10 right now.
Terry's got off. Terry went off at Tamburello.
We're going to check that. We're going to get a replay of that to see.
Oh, no, it was at Villeneuve.
That looks like Villeneuve. Yes, sir. Let's see. We're getting into the replay. And, of course, my lovely PC wants to... Oh, a little too hard on the curb. And, oh, a hit on the wall as well. That is not good for Terry Howard. You can see, I think this is the track where I mean this sentence the most. Because you've always heard me say this. The minimum mistake is going to cost you a lot. As we see, I'm going to have to say it later because Schaffer and Pocock trading paints. Thankfully, didn't come out with a car on the wall. Okay, he's gonna hold the position. But as I was saying, I think this is where I mean it the most, where the tiniest of mistakes is gonna cost you the whole race. And as you can see there, for Mr. Howard, yeah, he's still P8, but he does have damage. And now, even though he's fast, this track is not known for having a lot of overtakes, especially when they're keeping it as clean as they are. So we will see how it goes. But for now, we're going to have to go with Lee Ellis, because look at that. It's going to try the inside. No, it's going to keep it safe. Mr. Ellis, well, a little too hard on the curb. Be careful, because you might lose it. Howell on P2, very comfortable. And talking about comfort, Mr. Trowbridge, 3.5 seconds. Mr. Wood, this is insane. I'm going to have to check this because Howard, we were saying it. And again, Howard is off the track. We're going to check another replay of that. Then Mr. Wood is going to give us his opinion on what's going on. Because now it's starting to get eventful.
I was talking to Terry a little bit earlier, and he said that he didn't have as much practice this week as he normally does, and I think really it's kind of showing. And once you go off, and it looked like he slammed the wall earlier, so he's probably got a damaged car, which is affecting his pace, and he's all discombobulated. He needs to kind of settle down and hopefully regain some of those places. Hopefully that car's not too damaged.
Oh yeah, hopefully, because now he finds himself on P16. That's a big wow. And I don't think we're going to see him back on the lead. Maybe we do, because of course we don't know what's going to happen. Anything can happen in a track like this. Terry was on his own at that. You can see Trowbridge right now is completely gone. 4 seconds. And maybe Mr. Wood, maybe Lee Ellis can get the speed to make the move at the end of the straight. 44.3 for Trowbridge, the fastest lap. He said he's going to make it on Tamburello.
He doesn't quite have it. He's got a run, but he just doesn't quite have it. I think Lee, he definitely is much faster than Steve. The question is, can he get past? If he does get past, I have no doubt that he'll be able to make inroads into Terry Trowbridge's lead, which is now 3.7 seconds. So, it's. But then again, look, you've got Robert Obando now. He is closing up on Lee, so we've got almost like a little trolley train.
Oh, I need to cut you off. I need to cut you off.
Goodness.
We saw that live. We saw a very wide entry from Schaffer from turn 1, and that has ended up in complete disaster because he has taken Jeremy Arrobas out. You could see he was forcing the move through Villeneuve, and he couldn't make it. You saw how hard he took the curve on turn 1. He was jumping all over the place. He nearly crashed with Amar Pocock, who's still 6th. After that incident, we saw a 4 wide for a second. Unfortunately, it didn't work for any of them. And now 2 of them are out. Sorry, Mr. Wood. We were checking that, and that was a big incident. We will see how Arrobas feels. Sure.
Yeah, I think this little battle that we've got going on here is like there's a lot of potential for some for more heartache here. So you've got Mark Pocock, and then Melvin, who we thought had crashed earlier, but he didn't. So he's actually running really well in P7. Excuse me. And then we have Ollie following behind, and then Richard behind him, and Peter LaFrance. So we've got all of these guys. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars in line astern, and here we go.
We have a yellow flag here. It was a little bit of an incident. We'll check. We're gonna go live now because look at that 4-man fight for P7. You can see there that is Colombo defending as much as he can. It's looking good for all of them. They're all gonna keep the positions respectively so far. Everyone is doing well, and let me tell you, we talked about Ovando, who's P4. Fantastic job. Look at the man behind, Frank Tennant, P5 for the Jamaican, who's also putting on a banger so far. He has a lot of clean air, especially from the front, because he has like 7 to 6 seconds of a difference. That is massive. So he should be fine for now. Remember, we don't have mandatory pit stops this time around. So this is all till the end.
Yeah, it really is a sprint race, isn't it? And for sure, on full tanks, it's not really that much slower in lap time than in quali. It's maybe a second and a half, 2 seconds at the very most on full tanks. So these guys, they're going, balls to the wall, as we like to say in England.
Oh yeah, that's how you call it. Trowbridge on rocket fuel. He's already 6 seconds ahead, and we're gonna have to go for the fight behind because Lee Ellis now has a big overspeed lead Maybe he can make the car get on the inside. Really tight between both of them. At the end, both respecting each other. And look who's showing up already. Robert Obando, P4. He is catching up to the group. They have been fighting non-stop. There you have. Liat is defending. And you can see Steve Howells is trying to show the nose on the inside. But that is going to slow him down through Villeneuve. Lee Ellis making a mistake. It's off. And now it's going to be Obando. Can you believe it? No. Contact between both of them. Can you believe it? For a moment, Obando was on P3. Unfortunately, Ellis and Obando came to contact, and we're going to check that incident again.
Yeah, unfortunately, it really did look like Lee Ellis. Unfortunately, he punted Robert, and I'm sure obviously it wasn't intentional. This is racing, and you know he had made that one mistake already. We see the replay right here.
You can see there he goes out, and unfortunately forces the inside a little too much. That's very unlucky for Mr. Obando. Probably a good idea not to interview Jeremy. Thank you for that advice, Mr. Wood. What an eventful race so far. Only 13 minutes in. Let me tell you, Obando has a lot of lost, huh? Jeremy, remember?
Jeremy? He's in P20.
Yeah, remember what happened? He was in an incident with Kai Schaffer. That's why he lost so many positions. We're gonna have to go here on this fight because God are really aggressive on John Pecha. He's making the pressure. Is he gonna try it on the inside of Ribazadu? Look at that. He's trying to get the rear exit, and he will or not. It was a very wide exit nearly on the gravel, and look at that, El Messi, el Maradona de la pista. Ahí lo tienen, Daniel Britos. He's gonna try to make the move, maybe on the outside, maybe on the inside. He does have the speed. Let's see if Britos can make it happen. For now, he's staying on the outside. He's gonna cut it through. Looks like a little bit of a switcheroo is not gonna happen at the end. We're gonna go now with Terry Howard. We saw him making a couple of mistakes. He's P11, but catching Peter LaFrance now for that P10. Obando still with the punt. This man is not giving up. Mr. Wood, this man is on a mission, and he is catching Frank Tennant up. Let's see if he can make it happen. For now, Howells has a little bit of breathing time. We will see what happens, but these two gentlemen look like they're going to war. And look at Obando. He's not even waiting anymore. He's saying, hey, I'm here, and I'm here to take it all. Obando, look at that. He's showing the nose, putting the pressure on Frank Tennant. What a beautiful fight that, to be honest, I didn't expect to see that far high on the grid. Mr. Wood, this is amazing.
Yeah, mate. So Robert Obando, you know, he got obviously, you know, he was running in fourth. He got punted by Lee Ellis, and you can see just by the body language of the car, you can see he's mad. He wants to get ahead of Frank so that he can get back on Lee Ellis's tail and take his ass, you know. So I know Robert pretty well. He's not the kind of guy who gets mad. He really doesn't. He laughs everything off. He does this out of pure enjoyment, no matter what. But he is a competitive guy, you know, like all of us. And when you're in like those top positions, you know, when you're in P4 and you're challenging for P3, you know, you want to be on the podium. And here we have we've got some
Schaffer out.
Schaffer, a 3-point turn basically to get back on the circuit.
Yes, sir. Still, Kai has problems. Yeah, after that incident with Jeremy Arrobas, he's not feeling very good. But you can see the difference in space as well. Howells, as we said, he had a little bit of breathing room to take it easy and calm down because he was defending very hard from Lee Ellis. Right now, Obando still behind Tennant. But you can see Ellis so far is being the faster of the two. We're going to check their respective lap times. As you can see, Ellis, even with that hit, a whole second faster a lap. Are we going to see the move this lap? Mr. Wood, what do you think? I think Howell's time is counting.
Yep. He's got past him once, so he knows how to get past. He just now realizes that, hey, you know, when I get past, I need to, you know, stay calm and stay on the line. And it's just, I did notice that when Lee overtook Steve going into the Tamburello, he made a little error in the middle of the corner and had to brake slightly, which gave him like less speed down the straight towards the Villeneuve corner, where again he made that big error and went off. So I think that's actually where it started.
Yes, definitely. And also something we need to check in mind. Keep in mind, sorry. Well, first, of course, we're going to say a little bit of hellos to the chat. Because we have Einars Jenks. Sorry if I butchered your name. I try my best to not do so. Danny here as well was Billy. I love me some. I'm Billy. Nikos Stefan. Thank you all very much for being here. And I think it's a good time to remember you. Who is the sponsor of the eSeniors GT3 World Championship? Mr. Wood, let us know. Who is it?
It is PWS Cleaning Equipment, of course.
You gotta love it. The best cleaning system, website, shop. They have everything, mate. I don't even have the words in English to describe how good they are and how many services and products they offer. You can, of course, check them out on their website. There you have them at the top right of your screens. preciouswashers.co.uk. And
now Robert is really pressuring Frank now. He's got the bit between his teeth, and he can see in his mirror also that Mark is right behind him as well. So Mark has been looking really, really racy this last few laps, and they've definitely concertinaed it up. So I really do think that, Robert, actually, he definitely is much, much faster than Frank, and I think that Mark might even be faster than the two of them. So this has got a long way to go, and we haven't seen the last of this. So let's see what happens.
Yes, we're going to have to go now with Lineker. Here we have him. He has dropped 2 positions in just a second. He made a mistake on Ribazza too. So he has lost massively back in P10. Howard in front is trying to get the best out of Colombo. Is he going to try the inside? He is. That's what you call a dive bomb, baby. That's how you do with the Porsche.
Oh.
The late braking was beautiful from Terry Howard. That was lovely to see. My God. Incredible.
That was great. That was textbook. And you know what? What we're seeing from Terry here is that, he hasn't had so much practice this week, like he alluded to earlier on to me. But, he's now into the groove, and you can see how fast he really is, So it just goes to show, when you do have that amount of practice, then, you're going to be anchoring yourself into the top 10 pretty easily.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Talking about top 10. 8 seconds and 6/10 ahead of Steve Howells, and he's improving that gap every single lap. You want consistency? Call Mr. Terry Trowbridge, because he's going to give it to you. 44 after 44 after 44. There's only been one lap where he has done a 46 because of a mistake. But every single lap from Trowbridge has been a 44 mid, 44 low. That's consistency, and that's what gives you victories as well as a big chance of the championship, no doubt.
Absolutely, he's making it look really easy, isn't he? It's like a Max Verstappen, run from the start.
Basically, that's a great example, to be honest with you. And you were asking me about Mr. Robas. Here we have him on screen, a P15. I'm sure he's not going to be super happy with what happened because it wasn't his fault. We saw Kai Schaffer being a little desperate after that mistake on Tom Morello. Then the mistake. We have a yellow. Mike Dearlove has gone out. We're going to check a replay of that. If, of course, ACC lets us see it. Sometimes it doesn't want to. Let's go back in time to see what happened to Mike Dearlove, who was doing a great race so far. That's a little too wide, and you can see the tires really spinning out. Not much else you could do. Goddard as well with a mistake. P17 now for Goddard. That is not what we want to see from him. because we know he is an amazing driver. Britos is going to take P16, and now is where we're seeing the gaps. We're going to check out the track map. Mr. Wood and gentlemen, there you have it. The gaps are now starting to get a little bigger, especially in groups of 3 and 4. That's where we're starting to see the bigger gaps. As we see Britos making a mistake, and I think that is going to be Goddard taking advantage. No, he's going to keep it safe.
Very defensive, isn't he?
Yeah, Britos. It's the Argentinian plot, my friend. You don't let anyone by. We're going to have to go in front, because that is Pecha losing the position to Arrobas. P14 for the Canadian. And I want to focus again on Pokak. Pokak is now in the back of Robert Bando, Tenant, who we had something to do with him. I don't think we should, because we have been here already for 22 minutes, and he's on a very, very good spot. We might have an interview with the man himself. We will see, but for now, we don't want to bother him. He is doing fantastically well. P4, the highest position we've seen him so far throughout the whole season, especially as consistent as this. Tenant is popping off. Jamaica is doing incredible. Ay, Obando going a little wide there, my friend. You cannot do that, pal. You're going to eat a warning for that, surely. And in front, Lielis and Steve Howells really going at it still. The fight going on. Still the gap of 8 seconds and a half between Trowbridge and Howells going. And we're going to check the time difference between Edison Howells through the last 3 laps. You can see
He's now challenging.
Oh, yeah,
Robert
check that.
Robert got a big wiggle coming out of the Variante Alta, and he's defending into Ravazza, and I think he's managed to keep a hold of it, thankfully.
Beautiful.
Mark is really, really racy right now, and he's wobbled again coming out of Ravazza too, and I think Mark is going to be able to take him going down to Tamburello. It's a drag race.
Well, keep in mind, Poca didn't get the slipstream, so maybe we see Mr. Obando trying the outbreak. Nearly to contact, my God almighty. Howard with a 43.8, even with damage. They're going to go side by side. Poca at the end making the move. That was very scary. I think we can call that a cold brown on Mr. Obando's seat, because, my God, was that tight.
Yeah, that was a great move by Mark. And he's gone off. He's gone off. At Villeneuve, and that's given Robert a little chance. Is he going to be able to take it? They're going through Tosa. I think they might have touched a little bit. Now they've got the drag race going up the hill to the Piratella, but I think that Mark still has it. You know, Mark showed great balls, really going down into Tamburello originally, and he's taken the Piratella poorly as well. That's given Obando the opportunity to close up again.
Wow, the pressure between these two gentlemen. That's what you call some big cojones right there.
Yeah.
Obando. Ooh, that was so... My God, that was so dangerous, that rejoin. Because you saw the car fly, completely fly. The 4 tires not hitting the ground for a second. I don't even know how this man held the car up. You can see, as it says right there, stay lifted. This man is more than lifted, brother. There you have him, Obando, not giving up. P6 still an incredible result for the American. And talking about great results, of course, Lee Ellis, Howells, and Tennant are doing fantastically well. We're gonna check now the time difference between Tennant and Ellis, because I want you to focus on this for a second. Tennant is slowly but surely starting to catch up. You can see he's creeping up, starting to get the times in. And of course, the ongoing fight between these two gentlemen for P2 is not helping one of them. So maybe in 5-6 laps, we might have a third gentleman join the action. We're going to have to go back with Obando. Obando is flying on the first sector. My God, he might have a shot at Mark Pocock. Let's see. Now we're going to the hairpin. That's a great hairpin from Mr. Obando. You can see there he had to lift a little bit because if not, he was going to eat Pocock out. My God, what an incredible fight between these two gentlemen. Obando showing the cojones he has, showing he is worth it of being on the top of the grid here on the group 2. That's a very good corner from Pocock. He's going to be able to defend it through Aqua Minerali. Surely, let's see. We've seen him make a mistake here before. That's very hard on the curb again. Obando! No. Obando again! Oh my God, I'm going to have a heart attack with this man. Jesus Christ. He's trying to force the car to go somewhere. It can't.
Yeah, he went straight over the sausages right there, and the whole car flew up in the air. But before he did that, I was actually going to say that it actually looks like Robert has learnt something going into that Villeneuve corner, and he's now faster through there than he has been previously. So I think he's learnt something, and he now has the pace. He just needs to keep it clean, because he's making these little errors, and that error that he keeps on making down at Aqua Minerali is gonna it might finish his race if he keeps on doing that.
Yeah, nothing else I can say. And as Nikos Margaritas points out, this ongoing fight is making the other man we had planned to talk to getting closer and closer, with Robert Obando now a second and a half. I think if Obando didn't make these mistakes on both consecutive laps, he would have been already past the Pocock, because all the time he's winning on the first sector, he's losing it on Aqua Minerali. So we will see. We're going to go now a little bit more towards the back. Here we have Daniel Britos. Uy, James Park there. That's James Park.
Oy.
Completely spun out on Tombarello. There you have Britos. Give him the cojones. There you have it. What a defense. You ain't passing an Argentinian, let me tell you, Mr. Goddard. This man is going to give his life to defend the position, and he's doing great so far. P16 for the Argentinian. Goddard trying his best to go through Daniel Britos, but it's not happening just yet. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, as always, please leave us a like on the stream. Invite your friends, your family, your neighbors, whoever you want. Just bring them here. Let's have some fun, because we still have 22 minutes of full action. And of course, I always say it, and I'll never change it. It's even better with the presence of this beautiful, lovely, incredible man, Jonathan Wood. It's PG. It's PG, but we love it.
It is PG. We need to keep it PG.
Well, sorry. Maybe the PG goes out of the window, because Daniel Britos is going to try it. Look at that braking zone from Daniel Britos. No, Britos. He just punted Pecha.
Come on.
Britos. We were looking forward to, and unfortunately he's going to punt Pecha out. We would have to see a replay on that. Unfortunately, we cannot get to it. But maybe Pecha was...
He's not going to wait. He's not going to wait for him, is he?
No. You see, he's like, hasta luego, genio. Goodbye. I'll see you later. I'll see you later. But Britos is going to continue. P15, that's a way of taking a position. Still, you know, of course, it wasn't intended. We would have to see the replay, as I said. Because... I think Pecha first moved. Ay, Britos! I talked to you. Oh my God, that's as well. Oh my God.
Oh, you're all going off.
Oh, both going off, and that's gonna be Vitana happening. Britos, why are you going slow, Britos? No, Britos, no. What is going on? Maybe a hardware failure, because he was going very. Look at that. Something must have
he went straight on. He went straight on, didn't he? That looked very, very unusual.
Yeah, it was really slow.
And he's stopping. He's stopping.
Oh, I really hope there's nothing wrong with himself, with health. I hope this is just a hardware malfunction.
Yeah, it looks like it is, because he's got going again. It looks like he's getting back up to speed.
Yeah, it's very weird, because he went completely straight. Maybe the wheel disconnected or something. Hopefully we can get some more info after the race. Really unfortunate, because Britos was doing fantastically well so far. And we are not talking about the lead, because look at this. It is now. It's opening a little bit of a gap. Howell's doing fantastically well. Trowbridge is 11 seconds ahead. He has this on the pocket. And now Columba is behind Garland. Garland has lost time to Obando, who's P6. There you have Pocock, P5. We're going to compare times with himself and Frank Tennant. There you have it. The times, favoriting Mr. Pocock being faster overall. Maybe we see him catch up to Tennant in 4 laps or so. We will see. 19 minutes remaining. And Mr. Wood, right now we have Garland on a little bit of clean air. Do you think we should talk to him?
Yeah, let's give it a shot.
Okay.
Give me just 1 second. I'll see if he wants to chat.
Let's see if Mr. Garland wants to come in and talk to us. Had my wheel disconnect from my stand yesterday. That is very unlucky. For me, for example, when I did the 24 hours of Silverstone charity, my wheel came off the table because I have a G27, and the thingy didn't work well. What's Acosta?
Okay, we have Melvin in the commentary booth here to do a quick interview.
We do, Mr. Garland. Hello. Bloody Nora, you're doing fantastic.
Well, not too bad. I'm getting a lot of double shifts on the upshift, so I'm fighting the car a little bit.
You are doing fantastic, my friend. How are you feeling? How is the car treating you? Let me know, because of course this track is very demanding.
At the moment, I'm sweating like a pig. Just trying to get every corner and every apex and keeping up with Mr. Bando in front.
Well,
Yeah, mate, you know,
go on.
You've got plenty of time. You know, you've got 17 minutes left here, and I think that, you know, you've shown some really good consistency, mate. And Robert, I think ultimately Robert is faster in over a single lap, but I don't think he's as consistent as you. So, like, put your head down, mate, and I think you can catch and take Robert.
I was hoping that Mr. Pocock in the Bando done a bit of fighting, so I was hoping they would have come together.
It just goes to show, like, the mind of a racing driver. When you see 2 cars ahead of you close up, you want them to crash, don't you?
Get me positions.
For free, please.
Yeah.
Well, that is great,
Mate.
Mr. Garland. Thank you very much for being here with us.
I'm looking forward to watching the stream back.
I hope you enjoy, my friend.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the race.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. Good luck for the rest of your race, dude.
Thank you.
Good luck. See ya. Well, that was beautiful to hear from Garland, who, yeah, he's saying he's sweating like a pig. But we could even hear that. You want realism? That's perfect realism. That's how a microphone sounds inside the car.
Yeah, it is. Should we see if Frank wants to chat with us?
Okay, yeah, because he's also in a little bit of a no man's land. So maybe Mr. Tennant wants to have a chat with us.
Let me see if he's available.
Of course, the interview of the day being sponsored by PWS Cleaning Equipment. Ay. What happened? Lee Ellis made a mistake, and that's going to be Tennant, champion of the P3. Oh my God, the commentator's curse.
Ooh.
It's absolutely insane. Tennant taking the P3. Lee Ellis completely benched. On the gravel, he's not moving now. He's starting to move. Oh my good Lord, Ellis must not feel okay about this. Because good Lord, that has cost him massively. He had that P3, no problem at all. Good Lord Almighty. And let me tell you, we have someone here with us. And that man just took P3.
Frank, you're on the podium, mate. How does it feel? We're not going to take too much of your time because we can see Mark is a couple seconds behind. But how's it been so far, mate?
It's been an interesting race from my point of view. Watching people drop off on each lap is quite amazing.
That's awesome to hear, Mr. Tennant. Let us know. How is the car feeling? That's going to be the last question because we don't want to bother you. This track is very demanding. How is the car treating you?
I think he's in hard concentration because he's got Mark breathing up his tailpipe. So I'm going to send him back to the free channel because obviously we don't want to interrupt his race. But good luck for the rest of your race, Frank. This is looking really good for you in P3. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tennant. Thank you very much. Of course, Eleanor. If I'm not mistaken, she is the daughter of Mr. Frank. I'm sure she will be watching happily to see his father on the top of the grid. Of course, as you can see, you want realism? We got it, baby. We got the effects on the microphones, completely not intentional. But hey, I take it. It sounds completely like NASCAR. It's lovely. Huh? But look at that, as you said, Mark Pocket now breathing down the neck of Frank Tennant. It's second now. We're going to compare lap times. 13 seconds remaining. I don't know what happened to Lee Ellis. Oh my God. 43.5 from Trowbridge. When the only thing he needs to do is just chill. Good Lord.
Yeah, I think he's now taking the piss out of everyone, you know. But, you know, it goes to show, you know, if you do try to slow down, you normally make mistakes. So you're better off to get into this rhythm, and he's like clearly in a really, really good rhythm. And, you know, it's a shame that we seem to have lost Lee Ellis. Well, he's in 10th place right now. So, you know, that was a great shame, and I have no doubt that, you know, he lost that place due to trying too hard. He wanted to be on number 2 on the podium, and it just unfortunately just wasn't to be. But next time. But it just goes to show that all of these guys are really on the very edge of their abilities. You know, they're trying as hard as they can. There's no one just like, you know, going around on a Saturday drive. They are trying their best.
Definitely, and it's been nothing but enjoyable. Unfortunately for Lee Ellis, as we said, P10 now is not going to be completely happy about that. But so far, so good for Mr. Garland himself. He's P8 and catching up to Terry Howard. He just lost the position to Terry.
Now we have Mark. Mark Pocock is now less than a second behind Frank Tennant, and he's looking very, very racy.
Yeah, you can see Tennant. He's under pressure. You can see, look at that, Pocock trying to play with his victim. And as you said, Columba P6. That is also amazing to see. Like, incredible to see.
And,
Mr.
you know,
Tennant.
actually, Jeremy, you know, he had that issue, of course, that you pointed out, and he was running pretty much last or second from last, and he's clawed himself back up to 13th place. So he's actually had a very exciting race. He's probably done more overtaking than anyone in this race, I would hazard a guess.
Yes, I have to agree. And now he's on the back of Mike Dearlove. There we have him. That is Dearlove and Arrobas going at it. And I think Tennant, if he can keep these lap times going until the end, he will be able to secure himself his first podium of the season. How lovely would that be, Mr. Wood? That would be incredible. But we're going to have to jump directly with Lee Ellis. He's already catching up to Peter LaFrance. I really don't know what happened to Mr. Ellis, because he stood still for like 30 seconds. Again, hopefully it is related to hardware and not to health issues. So we hope the best for him. I was still catching Mike Dearlove. Is not happening just yet. And we're going to go back with Pocock. He's 2 seconds now. That's the problem with this track. The minimum mistake costs you a second or two. And Pocock has just lost a second out of the blue. So now he has to make it back up again. We see there that times are very similar. It was 10 and 3 laps ago who made the big mistake. As you see, a 47.0. But overall, the pace is the same. We're going to have to go with Lee Ellis because he just made the move before Variante Alta. That is a beautiful move from Lee Ellis. thankfully, he's not giving up. That is lovely to see. The courage, the motivation all of these drivers have to fight until the end. It is incredible. And this is what we're down to, Mr. Wood. This is what we love.
Yeah, absolutely. And it really does actually look like. So, Richard Colombo, he's in P6 now. And I saw that Terry Howard managed to get by Melvin Garland. So we've had a lot of shuffling going around in that 6th to 10th place area. And now we have Peter LaFrance going down. And contact.
That is big contact between Ellis and LaFrance. My God, Ellis has to be pissed with what's going on.
Yeah, he's had a way too busy race. I'm sure he'll agree.
Yeah, this is not good for him. And again, now it's Polcock on the back of Tennant as we go into Aqua Mineral in just a second. There you have it. The time differences again. Tennant with a 44.8. That is very close between both drivers. Polka trying to get the better exit. That was a beautiful line from the British man. Let's see if the Jamaican can keep him behind. 8 minutes remaining. He still has a good chance of doing so. And I do believe he's going to have enough time to do so. No doubts at all. But we will have to see. Tennant for now staying ahead. No issues at all. We'll see how they go through Ribazza 2. There you have it. Mr. Polka.
He needs to get a good exit here out of Ribazza 2 to have a good run.
That doesn't look
down
good enough,
into that Tamburello. And he's not. No, he really hasn't. In fact, it looks like Frank got the better exit there.
You can see there he's really struggling with the exits. Oh, I have to. 1 second, I need to check this. I had a little bit of a white flag on Howells, and we do have a yellow because that is Venshaya going off the track. He's going to drop the position to PJ Vitala. Of course, my man, the PJ, he loves the Zizou. I give him the Zizou. We haven't seen him too much this race, but hey, P16 is not bad at all. Unfortunately, El Messi de la Pista is on the pits. He has retired. Mr. Daniel Britos, really unfortunate to see. We're going to have to jump back with Terry Howard. We saw what happened with him. He's back in the top 10, and now he might be able to get Richard Colombo in these last 3 or 4 laps remaining. And of course, Mr. Wood. Again, every time we've seen Trowbridge lead, he has made nothing but perfection on the track. Consistency, absolute cleanliness, just spotless, incredible.
Yeah, props to Terry Trowbridge. You know, when he's running in a pack, he's very, very aggressive. I've been on the receiving end of him, and he's an aggressive guy. He'll go for any gap, and he's got melon-sized cojones for sure. So, but then he's like super fast on his own as well. So, when he gets into a situation like this, he makes no mistake. And look at him go. I mean, he's 17, 18 seconds in the lead, which is actually the largest gap that there is between any of the 21 cars on track right now. I mean, it's largest by 2 times, which is really amazing. 18.2 seconds he is in the lead. Incredible. Great job, Terry. I mean, if he carries on like this, I'm not sure whether he'll like it or not, but he will find himself promoted to Group 1 for next season.
That is a very good point. That is indeed a very good point. DOD Frank Tennant, if he get the podium he deserves, I think we should go for the votes now, because it's 5 minutes remaining. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know who is the driver of the day. Johnny, who is it for you?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's got to be either Frank Tennant or Terry Trowbridge. I mean, for me, it's even Stevens for different reasons.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. What an awesome stream this was, gents. Thank you very much. Love you all. I love you, Mr. Andreas. I hope you are feeling better. Howard's going to try to make the move. He's going to have to be patient. And Tennant's still holding Pocock. To be honest, Trowbridge has done an absolute masterclass so far of how to drive here in Imola. But we always see him on the top of the board, at least on the top 10. As you see, Howard has made the move on Richard Colombo, who has made a massive mistake. There you have him, really slow on that exit on Rebazadu. He went into the gravel, but as I was saying, that's a car completely stopped. That's James Parks again on Tamburello. But again, as I was saying, Tennant, we're not used to seeing him this high on the grid. This is not an easy track. This man, for me, is the driver of the day. Who do you think is taking it, ladies and gentlemen? Let me know in the chat so we can crown that driver of the day. And for now, Tennant is holding Pocock behind. Not only because he's being fast, but because Pocock is making mistakes. So...
yeah, we're at that point of the race, mate, where, you know, everyone's getting kind of tired, to be fair. And actually, Mark just went off at Aqua Minerale. So I think that is going to be it for Mark's chase of Frank Tennant. And I think Frank now, really, he's got that bottom step of the podium all to himself.
Well, let me tell you, this might be it. It looks like we have a discussion between Tennant and Terry Trowbridge. For now, is Tennant winning the voting for one vote? So we will see. But so far, it has been an amazing ride here in Imola. It has been incredible. All the internet. We're going to go with the Aussie. There you have it. Now it's a tie between Trowbridge and Tennant. Of course, maybe we can have a tie and we can have two drivers of the day. That wouldn't be too much of a problem. But Lindner right now in the middle of the sandwich. Brother, there you have him. Right. Into turn one we go. Crossing the finish line. Lindner really fighting with Garland this time around. Let's see, because he's really getting closer. He has the pace to maybe have a shot at the move. Eddie's pushing as much as he can. He surely isn't happy. But we will see. Terry only because Frank got lucky with Edis Ofsky. Terry Trowbridge again from Andy Skelton. You love Terry, Andy, I see. But it's a tie between Terry Trowbridge and Frank Tennant. One way or another, these two gentlemen deserve a lot of respect for what they've done. There you have. Lee Ellis is going to try the inside here. He's going to have to be patient. He doesn't want any more incidents. I think he should be playing it on the pressure and not on the overtaking maneuver. But Mr. Wood, we have a tie. It's Trowbridge and Tennant. Shall we do our first double driver of the day?
Yes, sir. I think that is fair.
I think that is fair indeed. That is Garland cutting the corner a tiny bit, a little bit of Lone Mountain. Yeah. We are going into the last lap of the race. Trowbridge leading without any issues. 15 seconds. He doesn't have to push. He's going slow. He doesn't need to push. You can see his last lap times were 45, 47, 46. Nothing. He could do a 150 right now and still be first. Steve Howells on P2. Incredible race so far. And behind the man you have voted to be one of the drivers of the day, Frank Tennant. So, Mr. Wood, I want you to take it over because it has been an amazing race so far. And I want to know your opinion. These two gentlemen really deserve it.
Yeah, I mean, they do. I mean, look at Terry. He took the pole position. He's led from start to finish. He made the perfect start. We haven't seen him make any. Literally, we've seen him make no errors whatsoever. Frank, on the other hand, he's had a completely different race. You know, he didn't start in P3. I mean, I think he started in the top 6, but he's had to fight this whole time. He's had to put other people under pressure. He's had to take advantage of other people's mistakes. He's had to defend from a guy behind who was arguably quicker than him. And look at that. He's on the bottom step of the podium, which was absolutely brilliant. There's not really a whole lot to say, is there? But here we have Terry Trowbridge. He's coming across finishing line now to win the race. So congratulations, Terry. What a brilliant race, mate. Great performance.
Nothing you can say. Absolutely spot. Steve Howells just behind. And look at the man. His first podium here on the eSeniors Group 2. That is my man, Jamaica, Mr. Frank Tennant. There you have him. Incredible performance from all the drivers. Mark Pocock with a very solid P4. And what can you say? This has been nothing but amazing action here in Imola. And we still have a lot left, because remember, 4 rounds to go in the championship. Everything is super tight between all of the drivers at the top of the standings. All I can say, Mr. Wood, it has been an absolute pleasure to be here with you. As always, thank you very much for being here with me. We're gonna check the final standings here before we're gonna show, of course, the driver of the day, or in this case, the drivers of the day, Trowbridge and Tennant, sponsored by PWS. There you have them. And then we're gonna go into the timetable to finish it off, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight. We are going to be waiting for you tomorrow as we see. Look at that. Look at the fireworks for Terry Trowbridge and the podium. Thank you very much from my side, Mr. Wood. It has been a pleasure as always.
Yes, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.